In this video, I'm going to talk about Tango shoe shopping. Yay! And I'm going to help you figure out if the Tango shoes that you try on in the store are the ones that should be going home with you. The other thing I'd like to say is before you even shop for a pair of Tango shoes, you need to have certain physical characteristics ready to go. One is really good core strength. Core, the middle of the body, really good core strength and really good leg strength. That is hip, knee, ankle, and foot strength, all of it. And then on top of that, you need to have really good balance, and that is both static, which is standing still, and dynamic balance when you move. So there will be some videos to help you cross-train for that. So if you'd like to improve your skills there to be able to dance better, I will have videos for that. So now let's say I'm at the shoe store and I have just tried on a pretty pair of Tango shoes. So the first thing I'm going to do is see if I can get my finger underneath the forefoot straps, and this is pretty snug. It's conforming well. There's not a gaping hole here, so that's good. The T-strap is holding my foot nicely in the shoe. Because I was a ballet dancer, if I point my foot, there are some shoes I can actually pull my toes out of the forefoot strap. So to make sure I can point my foot without my foot falling out of the shoe is going to be really important. An open heel is going to be less stable than a closed heel. Because this has a couple of different straps coming up around the ankle to secure it, if I try to move my heel around in the back of the shoe, it's pretty stable. So the heel sliding around is not a concern in these shoes. I also talked about a forefoot strap. A single strap is better than multiple, but because this is leather and the straps are very wide and it's fitting my foot well, this feels good. This is not uncomfortable for me at all. The other thing I'm looking at is the fit within the shoe itself. Let me get my other foot out of the way. So my toes are not hanging over the edge and my heel is not hanging over the edge. It's pretty much in a line with the shoe. And so this shoe is not too short. I don't have a bunch of space here at the toe, but my toes are definitely not over the edge. And then when I stand up, my weight is going to shift forward in the shoe. So I want to be sure when I stand and I lean forward toward my toes a little bit, that again, my toes are not jutting out over the edge of the shoe. So this looks pretty good. I can stand in them. I can lift my heels up and down. We're off to a good start. So here we are in our shoes, and these can be shoes that came in by the mail and you're trying them on at home, or you're at a Tango shoe shop in BA, and so you're going to see if these shoes are going to work. If you were sitting in the shoes were uncomfortable, and especially when you stand up, if I'm feeling a strap dig in or I'm standing up and it feels like the shoe is kicking my weight over to the outside of my foot, just stop and take the shoes off and walk away. Don't go any further, okay? So if the shoes are not comfortable, go no further. If you stand up and it's like, okay, these shoes are comfortable, and these shoes happen to be a 3-inch heel, so my weight is put forward over my forefoot a little bit. In a higher heel, my weight is going to transition even farther forward. So this 3-inch heel feels pretty comfortable for me, so that's good. When I'm standing up and I try to slide my heel back and forth in the shoe, I can't. So the heel is nice and secure, so the straps are working, the fit is good. Then the other thing you want to look at is, can you straighten your knees out in standing? Some people will put on Tango heels and their knees are going to slightly bend. If you're seeing this, the heel height is too high for you. You need to go lower. So now we can stand in these shoes, and now we can see if we can walk in these shoes. And we're not going to worry about Tango style or anything. We just need to be able to walk. A normal stride will be heel to toe gait with the knee fairly extended and toe to heel going backwards. So you want to take a few steps forward and back. If you can't easily walk in these shoes with a normal gait, then the shoes are too high for you. The heel will be too high. An improper gait is going to be walking with something like a foot flat. I see this a lot. Foot flat, knee bend as I'm stepping. That's going to hurt your anterior knee when you dance. And so again, the heel is too high if you cannot do a proper gait. Next test. Can I stand for 10 seconds on one foot with good stability? And do not let the other foot touch. That's cheating. So I'm staying about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds. At least 10. There are far more other things that we could do with this, but at least 10 seconds without bending your knee down to balance, okay, on one side and then do the other. The other thing I'm looking at with balance is that I'm not making any compensations in my core, like that, or like that. That means I need to work on my core strength before I wear these heels. All right, so I'm standing on my foot for 10 seconds. My core strength is good. Next test. In Tango, we have to lift our heel as we pivot. And so we need to see if we can lift our heel, clear it very easily with both feet. All right, so I can do that. So these heels are appropriate for me thus far. Now, can I do that on single foot? Yes, on this side. And you should be able to do at least 5 repetitions with good control, nice and slow on the way up and the way down. So on single heel raises, to make sure you're controlled, you want to be sure that your foot and ankle are in good alignment. And when you're raising up, there's no angle in your ankle when you're raising your heel up and down off the floor. From the side, I should be able to comfortably raise my heel and lower with more than enough clearance of the heel. So this is on my good leg. And even my balance isn't that great on my bad. You can see my range of motion is not as good on my surgical side. If you have to slam up and down, that's cheating. If you're bending your knee at all trying to do this, it's cheating. The heel is too high. If I have pain just doing 1 or 2 repetitions with that, in Tango, I'm going to be making a compensation where I lift my heel to go over the outside of my foot, which is going to lead to an ankle sprain. So for me, even though I could do all these other things with this high of a heel, if I can't stand on that surgical side and comfortably lift my heel up and down with good control, and you can kind of hear me slamming there, these shoes are too high. They're going back to the manufacturer, and I'm trying something else with a lower heel. And if you're a person that's just starting Tango and you have worn flats your entire life and you're comfortable in flats and you've never worn heels, do not listen to people that tell you you need the proper shoes to dance and you need to go out and get a pair of heels to dance Tango, because that's just wrong. And you're going to get hurt and you'll probably quit. So if you're used to just flats, you can dance in sock feet. You can dance in, I used to buy Pumas for swing dancing and suede the bottom of them so that they weren't so sticky. So just get some comfortable flat shoes to start learning Tango in. And then as you go along and you like the dance, start with a very low heel, preferably a block heel, a wider heel. And so that's easy for you to control, and you can get used to that feeling of being above the floor with your heel rather than flat. And if it's really important to you, you could do some cross training to work your way into wearing a 3-inch Tango heel that's more of a stiletto. But you should never go from wearing flats and no heels to now I'm going to wear Tango shoes and the skinny stiletto. So let's review my tips in trying on Tango shoes. And remember, these are just the minimal requirements. I would argue that you actually have to have much more control, and there are many more tests we could do. But I wanted to give you my top hits for what, at the minimum, you should do when you try on a new pair of shoes. So number 1, fit. Do the shoes fit? Number 2, stand. Can you stand in these shoes normally with your knees straight? 3, can you walk easily forward, backward, without any compensation? 4, balance. Single foot, 10 seconds, either side. No compensation. 5, calf raises, raising up to demi-point and slowly down. 5 times, both legs together, then 5 times on the left, 5 times on the right, clearing the heel from the floor with good form and good control and no pain. So keep these tips in mind the next time you try on a pair of new Tango shoes.